Good morning. Welcome to your 10 a.m. daily weather briefing. We have some chilly conditions as well as some light rainfall across the area this morning, the Wallops region. Seeing that light rainfall. Points north are seeing a little bit of wintry weather this morning, seeing some light snow in Salisbury as well, especially points north of the Maryland-Delaware line, seeing some accumulating snow this morning. Should see some light snow across Wallops once we move past about 4 p.m. this afternoon. Points north of that are going to see the snowfall earlier, as is already being seen in Salisbury, as well as seeing some wintry mix around Pocomoke. So going to see that snowfall kind of come down the peninsula for later on this afternoon for Wallops weather, seeing that snow, as I mentioned, primarily after 4 p.m. Going to see that snowfall most likely not sticking into the roads until about 4 to 5 o'clock across Wicomico County, and points north and west of that could be a little bit earlier, maybe 3 to 4 o'clock, seeing that snow sticking on the roads. But overall, not going to see a ton of travel delays until we move into the later afternoon hours today across central Delmarva. Taking a look at our current sounding from this morning, freezing level at 3,100 feet, winds out of the north, the low levels around 10 knots, and it's quickly switching out of the southwest and up to 97 knots at 25,000 feet. That's a peak wind this morning. Taking a look at our current surface analysis, we have an area of low pressure developing off the coast that's going to give us those rain and snow showers today that will continue to develop off the coast and then move away from the area. Overnight, we'll have an Arctic boundary moving through for the overnight hours that could give us a brief snow shower across the region, and overall we'll see very cold temperatures for our Saturday and Sunday. So taking a look at our current radar imagery, you can see we do have primarily seeing those radar turns north of Wallops this morning, excuse me, with the snowfall across central Delmarva, especially points north of the Maryland-Delaware line. Going to see that activity fill in across Wallops, especially once we move into the late afternoon hours. You can see here a band of a bit heavier precipitation starting to develop off to the west and to the north, and I'll move through central Delmarva this morning and continue with that precipitation moving down the peninsula, as I mentioned, since moving in the late afternoon hours. And taking a look at the current satellite imagery, you can see we do have that cloud cover starting to move in from the west. It's a little bit thicker with that associated band of heavier precipitation, as I mentioned. But overall, seeing those cloudy skies across our region today with that good chance of seeing some rainfall this morning and then transitioning to some light snowfall for this afternoon. And taking a look at the HRRR model for the next few hours here, you can see we do have that snow shower activity developing across central Delmarva around noon today, with continuing on throughout the afternoon hours into the evening hours. Here's 4 p.m. this afternoon and then 5 p.m. this evening. You can see that snowfall across Wallops. We're going to see a brief period of some light snowfall across Wallops. Not expecting accumulations across Wallops with this event. Could see a very light dusting on the grassy surfaces, cloud tops with this initial light snowfall during the late afternoon, early evening hours. We'll see that Arctic boundary move through overnight, and that actually could give us our better chance of seeing a dusting across the Wallops region with colder surface temperatures as well as snow shower moving through. And taking a look at the 3-kilometer NAM model and the snowfall projections forecast from that, you can see only about a 0.4 inches at Wallops, and mostly that would melt on contact, so wouldn't see that 0.4 inches, much less than that at Wallops. Points north of that, especially once you move into Wicomico County and especially north and western portions of Wicomico County, could see an inch or two of snow, with areas north of the Maryland-Delaware line seeing more snow than that, possibly seeing anywhere from 2 to 4 inches of snow with locally some higher amounts, especially in Sussex County, Delaware. And taking a look at the European map the next few days, you can see it does have that snowfall coming through for later this afternoon in the evening hours, and then overnight could see that Bay effect snow shower moving through. And then for tomorrow, can't rule out a flurry during the daytime hours with those very cold temperatures overhead with this upper level disturbance moving through as well. So could see a flurry, especially in the morning hours of Saturday into the early afternoon hours. And Sunday, we'll just see high pressure building in, continued breezy conditions as we see on Saturday and Sunday, Very cold temperatures. Temperatures only in the 30s on Saturday and Sunday. Monday we'll see a moderating trend to our air mass, high pressure overhead, and then into Tuesday, going to see a system start to move through the Mississippi Valley into the Great Lakes, and that's going to provide us with an area high pressure building off the coast, giving us warmer temperatures on Tuesday, back above seasonal averages. And then for Wednesday and Thursday, looks like we'll have a system moving through, giving us some rainfall across the region, and much warmer temperatures across the area. So looking at our risk chart for today, we'll see that rainfall that was in the region this morning continuing to build across the region, especially move towards the late afternoon hours, as I mentioned, from 4 to 8 o'clock. Looks like our best chance of seeing some light snowfall. Temperatures falling into the lower 30s during that time period, then overnight seeing a low of 24 degrees, seeing a high today around 38 degrees. That was this morning, and could see a little bit of an increase in our temperature right around noon today, but right now at 36 degrees, could stay around that 36-degree mark for the remainder of the late morning into the early afternoon hours before temperatures start falling. Our ceilings will be getting lower for later this afternoon, and most likely below, seeing periods of below 500 foot ceilings for this afternoon, and could see a reduced visibility or lower ceiling with the snowfall moving through briefly for later this afternoon. As far as our winds go, we'll see winds gusting around 24, 25 knots for later this afternoon in the evening hours, and then gusting once again up to 23 knots on Saturday at 8 local, around Saturday 8 local. We'll see those winds out of the northwest as well. So some breezy conditions, colder weather, wind chills near 10 degrees Fahrenheit for tomorrow morning, so very cold temperatures in store. 24-hour terminal forecast, we'll see those lower ceilings across the region, especially once we move into the noontime hour. We'll see ceilings below 500 feet most likely, and then seeing that chance of snowfall after 1600 local with some reduced visibilities with that snowfall. And then we'll see that slight chance of a snow shower overnight. As I mentioned, not really expecting any accumulation at Wallops during the daytime hours. Could see a light dusting on the car tops, rooftops, or some grassy surfaces for later on this afternoon in the evening hours. Once temperatures really do start to drop below freezing during the overnight hours, and we do see that snow shower move through, could see a light dusting of snowfall across the region with temperatures in the 20s during the overnight hours. Our tides are currently running slightly above normal, and looking into Saturday and Sunday. Saturday, partly to mostly cloudy, breezy, very cold. Slight chance of a brief flurry. Wind chills between 10 and 15 degrees during the daytime hours, high of 31 degrees. For Saturday night, partly to mostly cloudy, breezy, and cold, low of 20. And for Sunday, partly to mostly cloudy in the morning, becoming mostly clear by afternoon, breezy and cold, a low of 34 degrees. Wind advisory criteria looks likely for Saturday and Saturday night, and then a slight chance on Sunday. So for the next 7 days, looking at that AM light rain, PM light snow for today, mostly cloudy and breezy and cold for tomorrow, that slight chance of a flurry during the morning hours. And then for Sunday, continued cold, 34 degrees for a high. Then we see our temperatures start to rebound. Monday, 43, Tuesday, 48, and then Wednesday into Thursday with the chances of showers. Temperatures in the mid-upper 50s across the region. Overnight lows well above freezing in the 40s to possibly near 50 degrees for an overnight low on Wednesday and Thursday. Well, that's going to complete our 10 a.m. daily weather briefing. I hope everybody has a great day today. Enjoy the snowfall while it does last. Looks like we're going to have some much more mild conditions when we move into the middle of next week. That's going to end the weather briefing. I hope everybody, once again, has a great weekend. We'll be back on Monday morning at 8:15 and 10 a.m.